inspection is key. So just driving in, what I've noticed is, let's see, your blower motor doesn't work because you got nothing coming out of the vents. Your radio doesn't work. I'm not sure what else doesn't work, but this car has very minimal stuff. It's like, no AC, nothing, but all your dash lights are working and your cluster lights. Nothing else there. So this car is pretty basic, but keep in mind that we have things that don't work under inside here. So, yep, you got the battery light on, right? I can't focus. But for me, usually I like to check my powers and grounds, or any kind of power input, and make sure they're all there before you call an alternator, because I find it that people just call the alternator and then find out that it's not the alternator. So here's the wiring diagram. So when I started the car, I noticed that there was no daytime running lights. Let me start the car up and see. So I started the car up. You guys can see the car is running, right? And I got no daytime running lights. But don't let that fool you, because there's the daytime running light module. It's on the same circuit as this wire. But I pulled out the headlight and they're just both burnt out. So don't let that fool you. So let me shut the car off and bring you underneath the hood. Unplug this. Grab my test light. So I got my test light here. Hook it up to battery negative, right? And this, with the key on or ignition on, there should be power on the center pin. The other two wires are basically PCM. You don't really, unless you have a lap scope, you can check. But let me see if I can get it with one hand. Okay, so key is on. Just hold my phone right where my right around here, and so right here, center pin should my test light should light up. See it lit up, for a nice bright light. So that's good. So with the black lead on the negative terminal, I checked power at the cable down there on the alternator, right? And what I get? I got only, wait. Well, I don't have 12 volts, so something's wrong there. Actually, it's dropping. So as you guys can see, the car is running and the battery light is on. So I'm going to go over here and show you guys this. So I have that morning. So I have this jumper cable attached to the see if I can focus it on just a stud on the alternator, and right now it's only 12.22 volts while it's running right now, or while it's running. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this other end onto the positive, and right now it's starting to charge. So let's look at the dash and see if the battery light is still on. And that battery light is now off. So if it's charging when I'm doing this, right, then either there's an open circuit somewhere, or either it's just really high resistance in the cable. And yeah, so what else is on that circuit, right? We got a 125 amp fuse that goes to that cable on the alternator. So let's also check that that fuse. So here in the fuse box, here's the 125 amp fuse, and I don't know if you can see that, but that fuse is blown. That main fuse is blown. So what does that tell me? Either customer jumped the battery on backwards and blew the fuse, because a whole bunch of stuff in the interior doesn't work either. So there you have it. Don't really know what the history is on this this car, or what actually happened, but I just get paid to figure out what's wrong. But what I think is this car needed a jump start, and they jumped it backwards, blew that fuse, probably a bunch of other fuses I haven't checked yet. But other than that, it should be fixed. We just got to order that fuse and double check and see what other fuses are blown, and that should be it. So there you go, guys.